Fear. What is fear? Fear is that anxious feeling you get in anticipation of both real and imagined events. Your heart begins to race. You notice it gets harder to breathe. Your muscles tense up preparing to fight. It's your body's way of protecting you from harm. And think of some of those things that trigger that feeling of fear within you. Now, have you ever wondered what would actually happen if you worked to overcome those fears? I'll tell you what will happen. Your life will drastically change, and for the better. You'll acquire an increase in self-confidence, a wholehearted belief and trust in yourself that you never thought was possible. And at the end of the day, people that overcome those fears, the most self-confident ones are the ones that achieve all the success that they desire in their life. Today, I want to share with you one of my fears, what I have done to begin the process of overcoming it, and how facing that fear has transformed my life for the better. So one of my biggest fears has always been a fear of failure, and a fear of failure is an avoidance of that feeling of anxiety. And the problem with doing this long term is that you can never master anything. In fact, it decreases your self-confidence over time. So for example, as an athlete, as long as I was winning, things were fine. But when the going got tough, I would run away, and I would either choose another team, choose another sport. I would find a way to hide. And this bad habit eventually found its way into other areas of my life, like my relationships, my schoolwork, and finally I couldn't run from myself any longer. My fear of failure had caught up with me, and I was facing it yet again. And this time I wanted to start down the path to achieve one of my greatest life goals, and that's to see if I was intelligent enough, dedicated enough, persistent enough to become a nurse. When faced with the fear, you can either choose to run from it or attack it. And it's uncomfortable to push yourself into the unknown. For me, I was very unsure of myself in general because of the habit that I had accumulated over time of avoiding my fears. And so I grew to lack in self-confidence. So to become a nurse, I never thought it was possible. Yet, despite every obstacle that I could think of in my way, I decided it was time for me to attack this goal. And I put my head down, I focused, I got to work, and I observed all my doubts and fears. And I worried that maybe I wouldn't be able to finish what I started. And the plan to getting closer to my goal has not been glamorous. In fact, it's been full of years of sleep deprivation, numerous sacrifices, countless bad days and tears, but the small successes along the way have been very sweet, and they've strengthened me beyond my wildest dreams. So through this intense discomfort and growth, and the fear of being inadequate, I've truly grown through the struggle and surprisingly developed a more positive outlook and overall positive view of life. So I believe that anything is possible, and like Roosevelt said, the only thing to fear is fear itself. And by confronting my fear, I've undergone a transformation that has made me into what I feel is a better person, which is a stronger mother, a more loving daughter and wife, and a better employee. And everyone should get the chance to experience that. To conclude, the perception of fear is enough to stop you in your tracks. But what if the fear was a sign that you were actually headed in the right direction? I encourage you, if you haven't already, or even if you're somebody who has already experienced something similar to this in your life, to explore pushing past all of your fears, whatever they may be, and to know that overcoming your fears through the journey, it's going to be unique to mine. It's going and expect it to be uncomfortable, and there will be many moments of self-doubt and discouragement, but remain focused. Expect those obstacles, and the person waiting for you at the finish line of your fear, your ideal, more confident self, will welcome you and help propel you forward into the next challenge.